and Independent Coast Observer. Thank you so much for coming. I didn't know that we would get such a wonderful group. I'd like you to repeat after me. We speak for the river.
We speak for the river.
Last year, Ollie Edmonds put his 29,000 acres of land up for sale. About a quarter of it is in Mendocino County, and the rest is here in Sonoma County. A consortium of land trust and environmental groups and individuals bid $60 million for the 29,000 acres. If they had been successful, this land that we're concerned about today would have been a river park, an extension of this Gualala Point Regional Park. In the 29,000 acres, there still would have been logging, but it would have been responsible logging. Hope was high, so very high that we could acquire these lands. But as you all know, our hopes were crushed when we learned that Edmonds chose to sell to the Birch family. After the sale was complete, real estate broker Robert Youngling, who's here today, perused the public records and found that Edmonds sold to Birch family for $52 million, $8 million less. We'll probably never know why Edmonds chose to sell less, but it was an insult to our community. Edmonds doesn't live here. He resides in the state of Texas. No Texas bashing now. But I contrast what Edmonds did with what the Stornetta family did up in Point Arena and what the Richardson family did up just north of Salt Point Park. They're local families making decisions that benefited the greater Mendocino area. I want to tell you that Edmonds has retained several parcels. Many people don't know this. He has some of the floodplains here, and he has some land, some parcels by Center Street. I don't know what he has in store or planned for them, but he sure doesn't have much goodwill left in this area, as far as I'm concerned. So the Birch family took over, retaining the same forester that Edmonds had. And one of the first timber harvest plans they filed was Dogwood. And it felt like a slap in the face to our community. Dogwood would log alongside the Gualala River from the boundary of the campground to Twin Bridges, over 5 miles. The entire portion we were hoping to acquire as a river park. Have you ever walked on this land just from the campground? Yes. Yeah. Some call it the magical forest. It's full of ferns and rare wildflowers and beautiful trees. The pathways take you to various places along the river. Fishermen use them, and hikers too. I've used them. These paths are what the Birch family want to use as skid trails to drag the redwood trees out. You know what that would do to the magical forest. Redwood trees grow faster along the river. They like to have their feet wet. But while the Birch family looks at these as bored feet, we look at them as a vital part of the Gualala River's ecology. The Gualala River needs its floodplain redwoods. We speak for the river.
We speak for the river.
Dogwood also allows the logging company to take up to 25,000 gallons of water from the river every day during the low flow season of April to November, regardless if there's a drought or not. So residents of Gualala have been on water rationing, and there's a moratorium on new water hookups in Gualala, effectively stopping any new homes, and the logging company gets to raid the river? Does anyone think that's a great idea, using the river water to water down logging roads? No!
Tell them to wear a mask.
We speak for the river.
We speak for the river.
There are other reasons to protest this terrible logging plan. I call on Dr. Peter Bay, botanist and coastal plant ecologist. He's an important member of Friends of the Gualala River, or FOGGR as we call them, and he was the one who slogged through the timber harvest plan and rang the warning bell. People have asked me about other logging plans once logging is commenced, and they say, Jeanne, how can this be happening? Well, if Peter hadn't rang that bell, we'd be asking that this summer. So Peter, please come and talk to the group.
Yeah.